Yo, welcome back. Born Shining here. I'm Born Shining. You're Born Shining. We're all Born Shining. And Born Shining. Anyways, all right. So I just kind of wanted to piggyback and continue where I left off from a video that I posted earlier today about the not so secret seven and all of that kind of stuff. What's happening with the secret seven? I'm not sure. To be quite honest with you, I don't know what's happening with the secret seven. All I know is what other readers are saying, and I'm not really interested in what they're doing per se. But at the same time, if I hadn't gone and looked to what's being discussed, I wouldn't even know where to look. I mean, I've been being gaslit my whole life. I mean, literally, my dad, when I was talking with my dad as I was having these dreams and watching these things, watching tarot, and coming to the realization that this is what's going on in my reality. All right. And I'm explaining to my dad, and he's just like, you need to stay there. No matter what, you need to stay there. And it just doesn't make any sense, It's like it's an unhealthy environment. Why would you have me stay here? And that's just one instance. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of reasons why I think that this is legit. All right. It's not like I just came up one day and was like, oh, what would be a crazy thing to start believing? Oh, yeah, that my whole family is trying to kill me. No. But I will say that the research that I've done into the occult and into um, SRA and all kinds of other gnarly stuff have prepared me to accept this reality. So it's kind of fascinating to me that my journey before I even knew who I was preparing me to be okay with who I am, except preparing me to accept the reality of the truth, right? The truth, preparing me to experience the truth as it is, not as I want to see it or as people present it to me, but as it is. And so I'm okay with being wrong. I'm okay with not having all the details 100%, because here's why. All right? Because even if my dad wasn't physically trying to kill me, all right, even if my dad physically didn't try to put a hit out on me, okay, and literally put me in the ground, all right, the result of what he was doing and the way he was treating me would have led to the same thing. Okay, so symbolically, my dad would rather see me in the ground than being my true authentic self. So maybe the detail that he put a hit out on me isn't entirely accurate, but in a way it is accurate. There's layers to this stuff, you know? Again, my first choice isn't to believe that my family wants to kill me. But when I'm telling my family what I'm experiencing and everybody is trying to convince me otherwise, and nobody's here. Where are these people? They're not here. Sure, I've changed my number and I've gotten some distance between them, but there's not people like trying to track me down or have conversations about, well, at this point I kind of shut that down. I don't trust them. It's like, why would I want to have a conversation with a liar? No point. Only to just validate that he's a liar? He's a gaslighter? So, I mean, I don't necessarily want it to be true. But if it means, if that comes with the territory, then yeah, I'll take it. And I won't just take it, I'm going to own it. And I'm going to be thankful, because that's what I need. All of these components need to be true for me to be who I am. Sure, I'm allowing the possibility that these people can change and that they can transform into brighter people. But the idea that they did that is still, that's real to me. I mean, there's parts of my childhood I don't remember. It kind of boggles my mind how I can remember early childhood and, being a small child, but there's like a couple year window in my childhood that I don't remember. All right. And it's a little unnerving that at 39 years old, when I start asking questions, and it's not the first time I've done this, but I've been asking questions before. And only now, when I really started pushing, did I find out that, oh, yeah, something happened after I talked with a psychic. Oh, yeah, something actually did happen to me when I was a small child. I mean, if you would have seen the look on this woman's face when she was when she was telling me what was going on, I felt bad for her. I experienced it, and I felt bad for her for having to see that. Do you think anybody came and told me that that's what happened? No. And when I asked him about it, do you think anybody showed any kind of remorse? No. They got angry with me. And I got the, yeah, whoa. You know, it was not the response that I would have to somebody who's coming to me telling me that they are being awoken to a traumatic experience that's blocking out part of their childhood. And when I go and talk to these people, it's just this the connections, it's the synchronicities. Like, my mom was a Marine. I mean, it seems like a pretty gnarly experiment. I'm just kind of just throwing this out there. It seems like a gnarly experiment could be to figure out what happens to the children of soldiers. I mean, my mom was one of the first classes of Marines, so prior to that, how would you where would you go to find? You would need to find somebody on death row or some kind of an inmate that was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? To get like to run this experiment. Like, you would need to find people who are already killers or already in that attitude mindset, and then you would need to take their children and follow them and observe, like, how do these people respond? Men don't have babies like that. So I'm not sure. I can speculate. No, that's not illegal. But I can tell you this, dude. My life is not normal. I don't know what normal is, but my life ain't it. Shit doesn't add up. All right? And like I said, even if some of the details aren't accurate, uh, you know, the results in essence are the same. Secret 7, whether my family's installing secret cameras in my house or not. The reality is that they're watching me, and that in times of turmoil in my life, I reach out to these people and they fucked me. It's all under the guise of keeping me trapped, keeping an eye on me, keeping me within arm's reach. That's how it seems. I wasn't empowered to go out and do what I think is right. They sowed a lot of doubt and a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty into my mentality that I've had to remove and get away from. So, yeah, do I want it to be true? Not necessarily, but if it comes with the territory, I'll own that shit. And I'm open to changing. I'm open to changing based on new information. I mean, that's what I think logical, responsible people do. I'm open to new information, and I'm willing to accept that new information could present itself for sure. However, I think that the information that's going to present itself is just going to be details about what I've already nailed down. Because that's how I work. I don't try to jump into the details immediately. I mean, when I'm putting up these kinds of videos, folks, I didn't start this shit yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even start doing this when it started last August. I've been doing this shit for my whole life. Apparently, like, that's just how I operate. I've been following my intuition and putting pieces together. My whole life has been a detective story in that sense, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, because nothing has ever been straightforward, except that nothing is straightforward. I mean, you can see, look at my eyes. Something, I feel like, I was beaten. I got beat senseless when I was a kid, and I don't even really remember it. And so, do you think if a family is going to allow that to happen to one of their children, do you think that they're going to hesitate to just whisper a lie in my ear? I don't. So, yeah, that's what I think is going on. I think that I'm being gaslit, and it would be cool if it was a small thing and I could keep it private or something like that. But seems like this is gonna be a little bit bigger than I had any clue of, which is fine. If that's what, like I said, if that's what's got to happen, and that's what's going on, it comes with the territory, then I'm gonna own it. But I'm not out here trying to, like, impose my will on everybody, and my ego is so big, like, I need to be the guy that's, I mean, I don't care, man. I don't care about that. I just want to know, I'm just it's just been a journey of self-discovery and pushing myself, and as I did that, I started separating from people in my life, and then all of a sudden, boom, I have this dream, and I start getting directed to listening to these people who are tapping into things that I'm just I'm starting not to learn about, but I'm starting to incorporate on, like, a really, in, like, survival mode, you know? It's like I've been learning how to cook and do all of these things, but then it's like, okay, well, then somebody throws you in the woods, and now you got to go find the things that you're going to cook, and you got to find all of this stuff. It's like, it's kind of like that. It's like, I know how to cook, I know how to do the research, I know how to investigate, I know how to douse things, but I'm not really sure what questions to ask, you know? It's like the Truman Show or some shit, man. Like, I don't really know what questions to ask. I'm just, I'm letting my mind be the wall, okay? And my heart is, I'm using my heart to see what sticks. That's my process right now. That's what's happening. All right? And I am being selective about what I'm letting in my mind. If I don't, I'm very selective about what I let into my mind. I'm very protective of my mind. In fact, that was a point of contention between me and my ex-partner, is that I'm so protective of my mind. I'm protective of my children's mind. I'm protective of strangers' minds. I'm protective of people that I don't even know's minds, because I understand what's going on here, and that's where the battleground is. All right, there's a lot of stuff, yeah, going on, Ukraine and Russia and all this kinds of stuff, but the real battleground is between the ears. And when you believe whatever you believe that people say at face value, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble, and it's going to make you crazy. And I know that. So I don't just listen to anybody, and I don't just listen to what people say, and I don't jump to conclusions. And I do appreciate the concern, and I'm sure there's lots of concern. I don't feel paranoid. All right. Actually, I feel really relaxed. I get fired up. Dude, I get fired up for sure. I'm a very passionate individual. You know, I've got Leo Sun, I've got a stellium in Sag. I got a lot of fire in my chart. But I also have a lot of earth. So I know how to do it. I can be cool or I can be hot. And I'm very protective of my mind. And all I've been doing for the last several months is resting. I literally feel like had I stayed in that environment for another month, I would have been dead. I believe that. And so since I've gotten out of there, I've just been chilling. Okay, I've been working, but most of the time I've been recovering. My health is really important to me. That's all I got. Health, wealth, and happiness. You know, health is first. All right, health is first. Health is wealth. So yeah, just a continuation. You know, I'm not sure. I could go on, and I probably will. I probably will make other videos and go off and on and on and on and about this stuff. But yeah, that's what's going on here. You know, I'm dousing things, and I'm not just. I mean, this is my process. This is how I'm doing it, and you know, I'm not giving my power away. Okay, but this is a team effort here, right? Like these people are, these psychics and these intuitives are helping me. It's a team effort because I have a role within this group, and if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then the group suffers. It's a team effort. This isn't about me. For me, in my experience, I'm piecing this together for me, but there's a greater cost to all this. It's not just about me. And so for me to isolate myself and remove myself from the group dynamic that's going on is to cut myself off from a tremendous resource. That's how I see it. Because, yeah, it's like while I do have the ability of intuition, knowing what information to put myself in front of, all right, it's been very helpful to have outside influence in that regard, because I wouldn't have even known what questions to ask or where to start. And everybody that I was talking to, if I would have just gone and asked everybody for advice, then I would have been gaslit and I would be in that same trap and I'd just be spinning in circles wondering why nothing is changing. This is just what I've got to deal with, and this is my journey, and I'm all for it. I wouldn't want it any other way. If that's what God has in store for me, then he already knows. Anyway, yeah. You know, it's again like we're talking about getting into these heavy topics and talking about this heavy stuff. I mean, this is just one side of me that you guys see. I promise I know how to have fun and laugh and keep it loose and be goofy and silly and just kind of a goofball. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Love y'all.